I like to introduce some of our work we have done on mesothelioma, starting from an example how asbestos can be dangerous in causing this disease. In northwest Italy, where I live, there is a small town called Casale Monferrato, which hosted for many decades an asbestos factory. So most of the people of that small town used to work in this factory. And as you can see on the left of the picture, there is a graph, and the black line shows the amount of asbestos that's been used in that town, and the red line shows the mesothelioma cases. The vertical gray line shows where we are now, and as you can see, there is an increase, a further increase in the incidence of this mesothelioma up to 2020. And I have to say that even this town is very small, the incidence of mesothelioma is about 16 times more than the rest of the country. So not only workers were exposed to asbestos fibers, but also families and the rest of the population. So we know now that even if the factory stops by law the activities at the end of the 80s, we have a huge environmental exposure to asbestos fibers, and we are expecting, sadly, a high number of cases. We see that this problem is not only in Italy, of course, and many other European countries are experiencing the same incidence of mesothelioma. And this is a very huge problem also for the society, because there are many thousands cases expected in the next years. And this phenomenon was called a European mesothelioma epidemic. And of course, this is an example in our country and in Europe, but I'm sure it's the same in the United States, in Australia, in several other parts of the Western countries, of the Western world, I should say. But it's not only European, because many factories that were closed in Europe and maybe in the United States moved to India. These pictures were taken a couple of years ago in India, and as you can see, there are workers pretty much exposed to fibers. Unfortunately, there are also children playing or staying close to the materials. So we are expecting a high number of cases all around the world, especially in these emerging countries where asbestos is legal and can be used also in these days.